So my name's Ella Holder. I'm 21 years of age, and I've been a dog groomer now for about 3 years. I started when I turned 18. And yeah, I've sort of always known that I wanted to be a dog groomer. Well, not a dog groomer, but work with animals. Um, Ever since I was in school, I just sort of had a feeling that that's what I do. Went to college, did an animal course, and just sort of thought, kind of think that I want to just have the fun side of working with animals. I don't want to be a vet or anything. Um, I just want to make dogs feel comfortable. So yeah, and then I left college to go and do a dog grooming course in a salon and trained there, basically.
Okay, yeah, so you started quite young then, so you always knew that this is what you wanted to do, and you've kind of like gone into it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. Sort of everyone else was going to college and sort of figuring out what they wanted to do, but I kind of had that head start of just knowing. And when I get tunnel vision on something, that's it. I've got to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Amazing. So like if you've been a dog groomer for 3 years now, so what's your biggest achievement, do you think, so far?
um, I I think definitely going off on my own. Because I started off doing it in sort of in salons, being hired by people. And then over time, I didn't feel that I was getting the satisfaction of sort of getting to know the client and bonding with the dogs properly. And it's quite a overwhelming experience sometimes for the dog in a busy salon. So I definitely wanted to do the one-to-one where I can really bond with them. So it was taking that leap, I think, is definitely my biggest achievement actually doing it.
Thing. And what has your biggest struggle been, do you think? Is it as well making that leap, or is it something different?
Um, I think it was establishing boundaries, I think, really with clients. Because when you're that one-to-one and you're a small business, you have a friendship almost with the client. So it's hard to be stern with sort of prices, with boundaries of cancellations and no-shows, and
Yeah.
you sort of forget that they're not your friend, you are the boss and it's your business and you've got to make a living. So I think it's the boundaries that were harder.
Okay. How did you kind of combat that then? Did you make it yourself quite strict, and you've got like how did you get those boundaries, do you think?
Um, I'd still, it's something I'm still working on, I think. I'm still quite soft. But at the end of the day, I sort of say to myself, this is my only source of income. It's a small business. And if somebody really sort of values your work, they'll take you seriously. And that sort of helped me separate the clients that you do and you don't want. So yeah, it's still something I'm working on, but I'm getting there.
Amazing. And then so like for example, the energy crisis, the cost of living crisis, like, have you had to kind of alter the way that you're running your business? Like, have you had to kind of source different shampoos for the dogs, or like, look at how you're kind of heating your space, stuff like that? How has it
Yeah,
changed?
yeah, definitely. I think I definitely use less hair dryers at one time and less heaters now, trying to save all the energy. But I did try sort of lower quality products, but in this industry, you really do get what you pay for. And I didn't want my quality of work to suffer. I did put my prices up about a year ago now, only by a small amount, just to help cover that increase of products. Yeah, I really didn't want my clients to notice that quality of work suffering and the prices going up as well. I wanted it to go up with it, sort of thing. So I've tried not to change too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And for example, you said you worked for salons before. So do you think that there's enough information out there for people wanting to start their business and make that jump? Or did you find it quite difficult for there to be, I don't know, like practical information out there to help you?
Um, I yeah, I did struggle to find information out there. I think the main source of help I had was actually from my bosses in the salons. I sort of just confided in them and other dog groomers really. And a lot of my family, they're self-employed, but when it comes to sort of social media, there's definitely not enough realistic content. It's sort of very rose tinted glasses about how to start up a business sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have to choose, like, who's your favorite client been? So do you have like a regular
Um,
dog, or like a regular what like customer that you love working with?
um, I try not to say that I have favourites, but there is one that I really do value. He's a little old Shih Tzu, bless him, called Ted. Um, and he's a bit old now, and he's had a sort of surgery, so I have to alter the way that I groom him compared to the average dog, just to make him a bit more comfortable during the whole process. And it's mainly his owner who is just so appreciative of everything and just really
Sorry.
values. It's okay.
I've got a
Really
little Scottish
values.
dog behind me, and he's yeah.
Oh,
So apologies. Sorry, what were you saying?
yeah. He really values the work that goes into it and how just making the dog's comfort the main priority. He's really, really appreciative. So it's something that makes me think this is why I do this job. It's
Yeah, it must
yeah,
be worth it to have that kind of appreciation from the customer, especially like with an old dog as well. You're taking very good care of him, and it must be really nice to get that kind of back and forth relationship with the customer where they're just like happy to, they're happy that you're doing that job for them. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so it must be quite stressful though, because obviously like dogs are quite unpredictable. So how do you deal with stress? Like if and how do you kind of like manage your time and take days off and stuff like that?
That is something I am quite strict about. I established that boundary very early on, was the days that I worked and the hours that I worked. Because sort of learning in the salons, you see these groomers who don't take a lunch break and they stay beyond their hours and work on their days off. And I just didn't want that. So I definitely am very strict with my days off. Um, but you sort of it is a stressful job really. But like the client, like I mentioned before, they make all the hard days worth it. And generally the good days outweigh the bad. And in busy periods, I sort of just say, well, I'm grateful that I am busy. I don't want to take it for granted. I sort of try and look at the positive side.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. So on the flip side, like how do you deal with slower months? Do you kind of like use it to work on your marketing, or do like admin and stuff?
Yeah, I'm quite grateful and thankful in the sense of I don't have that many quiet months. I have quiet weeks maybe.
Yeah,
But I do sell like little dog perfumes on the side and brushes, things like that.
yeah.
So that does help generate business in quieter weeks. And I'm thinking about maybe starting up sort of a workshop to show owners how to brush their dogs with the correct techniques, things like that.
Okay, that's really
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, so kind of like coming up with sub parts of your business to kind of generate more money is a really good idea.
yeah.
Um, what do you think is your favorite part about running a business?
Um, I don't know. I think being your own boss has its pros and cons, definitely. But I think it is generally the people that it's only me working, but I get to work with those clients and that
Yeah.
personal touch. And that's, I think, definitely the best bit,
Okay.
being able to sort of, yeah, make people happy like that.
Yeah. Amazing. And like considering the future, what are your plans? I know you mentioned the workshops and stuff like that. Do you have kind of ideas to take on more staff, or would you prefer it just to be you, or like would you like a premises, for example? So like what are your plans for the future?
Yeah, when I first started out, I thought that I would want to franchise and be a big salon, but now I think I love the fact that I'm one to one. The majority of my clients are sort of nervous and reactive dogs who can't be around other dogs. So that's sort of my biggest selling point now. And I wouldn't want to lose that personal touch and the bond that I have with the dogs.
Yeah.
So I think I'm definitely going to stay in my little sort of unit that I rent out, but just continue to grow. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to for the future. Yeah.
Amazing. And then like so for your like for social media and stuff, is it a big part of your business? Or do you get a lot of your business from like word of mouth, so other customers talking to, like their friends and family and recommending you and stuff like that? Yeah, what do you think is your main form of marketing?
I think it would be a 50-50 split, really. Facebook is amazing for getting yourself out there, putting on like the Facebook groups, just advertising yourself a little bit. If anybody's asking for a dog groomer, just pop yourself in the comments. It's a great way to get out there. But then on the flip side, the word of mouth is just the best way, definitely. It's the quickest and people trust people they know. So
Mhm.
it's, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely the best way, but it's definitely a 50-50.
okay, it's a good mix then. And so like if you had to give another business owner some advice, what do you think you'd say to them?
Um, ooh, I think definitely know your worth. That's a big one. Don't sell yourself too low and have confidence in your work and your ability to actually do this. Because if people value you, they value your work. They'll pay whatever price they need to pay. They'll wait the amount of time they need to wait to get in with you. It's definitely hold yourself of a high standard, I think.
And then if you could go back to the start, like the very start of your business journey, would you change anything or are you happy with how it all went?
Um, I think I would change my confidence, maybe tell myself to have a little bit more confidence in myself, raise those prices, and not undersell myself. I think I did that wrong at the start, yeah. But you look back and you change a few things, but overall, I think I've done all right. I wouldn't change too many.